The reason Nikki Haley left after less than 2 years and apparently developed extraordinarily profound foreign policy experience in those 1.5 years where she raised her hand elegantly at the UN is because she had all kinds of opportunities to enrich herself. And that's what she told President Trump is the reason she was leaving. She wanted to join what she called the private sector. And boy, did she join the private sector. I mean, she thrived within it. Here from Forbes in August of this year, how Nikki Haley built an $8 million fortune and helped bail out her parents. Quote, Haley stunned Washington by resigning her role in the Trump administration in 2018, less than 2 years after taking office. A spokesperson for Haley claims that the family financial troubles had, quote, no bearing whatsoever on Ambassador Haley's decision to leave her position. So the Forbes article prior to this paragraph detailed all of the debt in which Nikki Haley and her family had long wallowed, which is not at all a mark against her. That is very common for Americans. She was middle class. She was in a lot of debt. She had no real personal wealth. And she recognized that once you're something like the UN ambassador, there's tons of people waiting to hand money to you, and she wanted to go and collect those checks, and that's what she did. She points to a section of Haley's resignation letter in which she expressed support for, quote, rotation in office. Okay, so that wasn't her motive, the fact that there were millions of dollars waiting for her from the military-industrial complex and from neoconservative think tanks. But whether that was her motive or not, she certainly was eager and efficient about sweeping up those millions of dollars. Quote, but the same letter also suggested that Haley may have had money-making ventures on her mind. Oh, you don't say. Quote, as a businessman, she wrote to Donald Trump, I expect you will appreciate my sense that returning from government to the private sector is not a step down, but a step up. If you measure somebody's character by net worth, Nikki Haley definitely took a step up when she left the Trump administration for the, quote, private sector. The article continues, quote, indeed, since then, Haley's net worth has ballooned from less than $1 million to an estimated $8 million. How did she make so much money in so little time? By following a tried and true playbook for politicians looking to cash in on their fame. Speeches to companies like Barclays and organizations such as the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs provided more money in a day than Haley had previously earned in a year. It's not clear how many talks she gave from 2019 to 2021, but Haley hauled in $2.3 million from just 11 events in 2022. She became a director of Boeing in 2019, then stepped down the next year, collecting over $300,000 in cash and stock. So when Vivek said to her, congratulations on your future as a member of the board of directors of Boeing, he was not really predicting the future, but just describing the past. Just like Lloyd Austin came right from the board of directors of Raytheon to run the Defense Department, Nikki Haley left the Trump administration to go sit on the board of Boeing and now is using her campaign to support policies of endless war and cutting back entitlement programs for Americans that many Americans subsist on in order to feed Boeing and the other companies that made her rich. Isn't that so inspiring?